Imagine! You are the greatest magician who got betrayed and killed by their own people, now reincarnated into a magic-filled world with spiritual power but without magic abilities. Such is the plot of this anime. The tale unfolds as a group of red ogres launches an attack on a town, causing the frightened residents to cower. As the menacing monsters draw near, a dragon appears overhead, carrying a man on its back. The man releases hundreds of paper talismans onto the ogres, with each talisman stopping in front of an ogre. This triggers a series of explosions that devastate a part of the town. Though one ogre survives, it meets its end when the dragon swiftly devours it with a single bite. It is revealed that the man on the dragon's back is the world's strongest exorcist, aspiring to be the greatest. However, his pursuit of power leads the imperial court to fear him, eventually betraying him and sending his favorite disciple to oppose him in his final moments. Wishing for more cunning, the exorcist casts a secret reincarnation spell, vowing to do things better in his next life. The focus then shifts to a boy named Seika in the middle of a magic circle, where his father performs a ritual to assess his power. Unfortunately, none of the elemental stones light up, indicating a lack of magical power. Seika's brother, Gleiss, mocks him for being an embarrassment. It is revealed that Seika has been reborn into a new world where magic differs significantly from his past experiences in spiritual arts. Despite lacking any mana, Seika senses a strong spiritual energy within his body. We observe Seika gathering leaves because paper is too expensive. Instead of using paper, he creates shinigami from the leaves. Some of the leaves transform into mice, while others become crows. Seika's brother Gleiss suddenly approaches, questioning what he is doing. Gleiss looks down, threatening to hit him, but the crows defend Seika. Their older brother Loft rushes over and chases off the crows. Noticing that Seika is unarmed, Loft becomes a bit suspicious but takes Gleiss to get treated. Seika is shown learning about his new world independently. Being the son of a mistress gives him lower status, resulting in being generally ignored at home. Despite this, we see Seika working hard, making his own paper. Eventually, he succeeds in creating his paper talisman. A knock at the door introduces a young maid named Aoife, who returns Seika's coat that his brother had thrown out. Gleiss enters to taunt them, instructing Aoife to get back to work and boasting about his upcoming enrollment in the Imperial Magic Academy. While Gleiss brags, their father arrives, reminding them to resume their training before leaving. Seika, expressing a desire to join them, asks if he can participate. Loft demonstrates his spellcasting skills, creating a wind blade that blasts through a large stone. Gleiss also showcases his magic by shooting a fireball at a target. Proud of his abilities, Gleiss challenges Seika to give it a try, convinced that Seika has no magical power. Reluctantly, Seika takes the wand, torn between not wanting to reveal his abilities and the desire to participate. Feeling the need to put an end to his brother's harassment, Seika decides that a display of his abilities might be effective. Using his spiritual arts, he launches a blue fireball. The family is shocked not only by the power but also by the fact that Seika cast the spell without uttering an incantation. Gleiss attempts to take credit, suggesting it was his residual power in the wand, but their father, for the first time, acknowledges Seika's abilities. Encouraged by his newfound recognition, Seika asks if he can study magic as well. However, his father refuses, stating it would be pointless because there has never been a person born without magic who has achieved success. Nevertheless, he does arrange for Seika to have a tutor, granting him access to books. Seika dedicates all his time to learning more about magic, even spying on his brother's lessons to keep up. As the years go by, Seika finally completes his talisman. It's revealed that in his past, he would defeat demons and seal them in another dimension to summon later. Believing he can do the same in this world, he attempts to call upon his most well-behaved demon. A door materializes and a young girl emerges. Seika doesn't quite recognize her, but the girl joyfully jumps on him. The girl is introduced as Yuki. Yuki suggests that her altered appearance is due to Seika's lower spiritual energy compared to the past. Seika is pleased with the successful test, and Yuki offers her assistance. However, Seika clarifies that it was only a test and that she cannot be visible to anyone else. Yuki transforms into a tiny wolf, expressing her reluctance to stay in the other dimension and insisting on remaining with him. The next day, Gleiss scolds Aoife for spilling water on him, but his tone changes as he implies she can make it up to him. Seika intervenes, claiming he has business with Aoife. This irritates Gleiss, who attempts to punch Seika, but Seika effortlessly stops him, causing Gleiss to storm away. Aoife expresses her thanks and leads Seika outside, where she shows him an injured bunny. She wonders if they could save it, and Seika instructs her to turn away so he can focus. Using his talisman and taking a hair from the creature, he successfully heals it. Impressed, Aoife acknowledges Seika's talents, and he senses that she is also unique. Aoife becomes nervous, but Seika realizes that she can see the spirits of animals. Upon hearing that Seika can see elemental spirits, Aoife reveals that she can see them too. However, she finds it strange that these spirits actively avoid Seika. Curious about Aoife's abilities, Seika asks if she can command these spirits. Aoife recalls an incident when wind spirits were taking her laundry, but she yelled at them and they seemed to go away. Drawing from his past studies, Seika sees Aoife's potential and offers to teach her about magic. Aoife mentions that she lacks the mana to use magic, but Seika attempts to teach her by summoning a soul flame and instructing her to banish it. She gives it a try. Aoife attempts to ask the soul flame nicely, but without success. Eventually, she loses her temper, insisting that it disappear, and the flame vanishes. Despite her initial weakness, Seika sees potential in her as a great ally in the future. They become friends and secretly train together from time to time, continuing their training over the next year through all the seasons. On Seika's 12th birthday, there is no usual celebration, and his father is not present. Trying not to let it bother him, Seika is surprised when his brothers approach him with wooden swords. Gleiss, in his usual manner, reminds Seika of his perceived unworthiness and tells him his only option in life is to join the army. Loft clarifies, stating they want to help him learn how to fight with a sword. Suddenly, the maids warn them that a monster is headed toward the house and their father is away. Seika senses the approaching danger, and in the forest, the head of a giant elder newt emerges. Dial, terrified, runs off, and Loft instructs everyone to find safety. However, Seika, realizing the beast has locked onto Aoife, heads outside. The monster lunges at Aoife, but she repels it with a flame, impressing Seika. He then lures the beast away from the house. As the monster attacks, Seika uses his spiritual arts to shoot a poison blast into its face. The beast falls, completely disabled by the poison, and Seika prepares to tame it. Everyone watches in awe as Seika defeats the elder newt with a single attack, applauding his victory. He turns and waves, pleased that his family finally seems to appreciate him, hoping this will be the start of the life he had dreamed of.